I wanted to note those just going into who we have here with us today and talking about Tiger Milk. So, the first thing we do, guys, is customary with every album review that we do on this podcast. We talk about the album cover and we talk about the album title. And so, I gotta give y'all a A on the album cover. I gotta give y'all a quick A on the album cover because I don't know what it is about this, but it just sets into how the album it sets me up for the album.
Yeah, I mean that's Unspoken right there. That's a special touch. You know, that's Green Team official. Me and Law's been friends since 2008, 2009, making music together, and we always come up with concepts and ideas for albums prior to making them. You know, and so that's how Tiger Milk came about. He did a project with Milc called Cocaine Cobra.
Yep. Cocaine Cobra, baby.
Yep. So he did the artwork for those then too?
He did the artwork for that one, and like me and him did a project called High Noon at Cobra Island that came out last year, and he did the artwork for that.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at that right now.
So on and so forth, and so yeah, Laz is just my right hand man, and we always come up with ideas. And he was like, "Yo," so basically, me and him had a group with only one called Tiger Hawk Cobra. THC. So I was Tiger, only one was Hawk, Laws was Cobra.
I see.
We never did anything, but that was the group, and we kind of stuck with it.
Okay.
And, that's how Tiger Milk came about. Basically, Laws was like, "Yo, you and Milk should do this project. You should call it Tiger Milk. I'll do the artwork." And that.
As far as sounds, Milk, what did you kind of approach Cal V with in terms of, like, you know, how were you trying to get your point across and how you wanted this to sound? What were those early talks like, is what I'm asking.
I think he just sent over it's hard to remember.
Is it more like he sent you beats, or, you know, or did you kind of
he sent over a pack, and I think I just used everything almost on the pack besides like 2 or 3 beats. That's usually what I do. I usually try to make, like, I can't sit on music. I like putting shit out as fast as I can make it almost. Sure. This one I had to wait a little longer than I normally would have, just because there's more pieces involved with this one. But yeah, like Calvi, I've been on Calvi since I was like young. So like I always knew he was fire. And I already knew, like, we both seemed to kind of know what we were trying to do with it, like how it was trying to be, you know what I mean? So like it was like unspoken in a way,
right?
But
you didn't
like,
have to have to express like, oh, I want the beat to sound like this, or I'm going for this type of feel. It was like y'all were both there.
Yeah
Okay.
Me and Laz like FaceTime all the time and smoke and just chop it up, and so I just played a bunch of beats for him when I was like picking out the beats for the project, and I kind of had an idea. I listened to, you know, the other stuff Milk put out last year, and kind of had an idea of heard what Stewie did, heard what Laz did. You know, I had to figure out, like, okay, what can I bring to the table that's going to make this a little different and stand out from these projects or whatever. So that was definitely approached as far as that goes.
And was that kind of an unspoken thing too, or did you kind of come up with something that you thought this is definitely different and more specific to him?
Like, I can't send this man some throwaway beats.
Okay. You gotta give him the top shelf, because you know he'll rip them open.
Like, I'm gonna have to, you know, if I want this shit to stand out, I'm gonna have to bring some heat. So it was cool though, because like some of the beats are from 2012, some of the beats are from 2020.
Okay.
It's kind of like, you know, it's all over the board. But yeah, man.
The other biggest compliment I was going to give y'all on this album is that y'all gave me what I think I ask for in every project that I listen to, especially like when I review a project on this album. Y'all gave me like a better second and third listen. Like the second listen was better than the first listen. I realized I was sleeping on shit on the first listen, and then I went back on the third listen and had the same kind of thought process on it, thinking back about my second listen. And that's really all I can ask for. No matter how good it is, as long as it like gets better the more I listen to it, that is something that definitely stood out to me. So if anybody hears this the first time, I definitely am telling you, run it back. Like I said, 20 minutes, easy. Like, run that shit back.
You're gonna miss bars.
You're
Like
gonna miss bars. That's the thing.
I mixed this shit. I listened to it a bunch, and I'm still like, I listened to it yesterday, and I was like, oh, that's what he's saying in that bar.
Yeah.
So I think that that has to do with Milc's skills as a rapper, and he's not. There's no filler. Like,
and I appreciated.
There's gonna be some filler. I'm just talking some shit. I'll probably talk about Polo like 3 times within the.
And if you're from Portland too, like, you're gonna get just that added extra layer of, there's gonna be a couple lines that you catch because they refer to the neighborhood that you grew up in or something. You said something about me and her making out at the hot cake house or something like that. And I'm like, bruh, okay, see, I'm not even from where y'all from, and you shouted out my part of the city. I was really excited about that. So
yeah, or he said like, take the PUA to the plug house or some shit, and like the whole time I'm like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Like, the homie Noah tweeted something about the Portland, and I'm like, oh.
Pax. Oh, one sec, man. I want to hear Pax for a moment. I haven't heard enough Pax. I feel like we're like 45 minutes in. Haven't heard enough Pax. Pax, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing great. No, I've just been soaking in the what you guys are saying, because it's cool to have two artists that, we've had a lot of artists on here, but like to have two artists, one in Cal with the like experiences you've had as a producer, that not a lot of the artists we've had on here are quite as established as that. And I think it's really interesting. So I'm just going to get all my thoughts out at once, but it was very interesting and encouraging for people like me and Dev, who, kind of built the podcast from the ground up and stuff, to hear somebody as established as you just being like, yeah, I just reached out to people on Instagram. That's what we do. That's how we got in touch with y'all. Like, so that's what we've been doing. And it's just like hard work and grinding and stuff. That's always, I mean, you hear it all the time, but to have somebody on here like telling you that's how it's done, it's encouraging. And then with Milc, just like, I don't know, man, the bars are just crazy. Like,
thank you, bro.
You guys were just talking about, we're just like, I'm sitting there in the car driving down McLaughlin on my way home from the bins, and just like, I'm literally like seeing shit you're talking about as I'm driving. I'm just like, oh, it's such a hit home. But yeah, man, the whole project is just so clean and concise, and that's like probably my favorite thing in a project, is just like how concise and succinct can you be with what you're doing throughout the whole track list, and the whole thing is just like, it's such a good listen.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hearing Cal talk about some of his experiences in the past really reminded me of us hearing Trox talk about similar things, like, really stuff that can only be a testament to.
Up next, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes,
hell
please. Yeah. Yo, definitely. Please. We love Trox. And the same kind of thing, it's just been time in the game and just really putting yourself out there for years at a time, and really grinding. And that's what I see in someone like Trox. That's what I see in someone like Cal, on the producing side of things. And so that's kind of what that reminded me of, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's too easy to get down on yourself, or to listen to other people's opinions and get discouraged, or see what other people are doing and be like, I should be doing this. And I've just always like done my career like, what feels right to me. And like somebody in my position at this moment, not a lot of artists might even like reach out to like people from their past, or like, want to do, it's like shit like that. It's just, you have to be open, and you have to just do what you love at the end of the day. It's like, I could easily have been like, I don't want to do this Milc project because whatever, I'm doing this major label shit right now.
A lot of people look up. A lot of people look up to the next.
It's like, fuck that shit. I'm just trying to make great music. You know what I mean?
And you can do both. I mean, like, for real, you can do both, right? Like, you can can do a tape with Milc, and you could do a tape with somebody that has been on your wish list or something like that in the near future. Not just somebody that you've known through the past, but somebody that's like, that could be a new level for you. You could do both, and the best artists usually do a little bit of both. They look back, they look forward. They don't forget where they came from. No.
Exactly. And I have the same excitement that I do when I get like a fucking song with Burna Boy that I do when I'm doing this shit with Milc. Like, it's exciting to see people talk about it. I think dude's extremely dope, and like I'm nobody, but I'm hoping whatever my fan base is can help him out a bit.
Exactly.
And maybe one of the labels that follows me or one of the A&Rs sees his shit and goes like, damn, people are sleeping on this dude. Let's fucking give him a little bag and see what he can do with it.